three.
Irene here. Hi, I promised all of you every 2 weeks I was going to put a transformational I see you, meaning do you really see the real me? And one of my friends actually said, do you realize what you're saying? Even though the message that I got was EYECU, I see you. Do you really see the real me? Because the real me inside is all love, all light, all joy. That expression needs to be also in my outer garment. But when you say I see you, what do hospitals have? An ICU to get you back where you need to be. And that's what this program does. It brings you back to who you really are, that beautiful soul light and love and joy, but the expression so people could see it in your faces as well, and on your face as well as inside. And then the two are in balance, okay? And then you have longevity, and your life becomes a healthy one on all levels. And I wanted to share, before I give my statistics, one thing that came through in meditation. I can't say enough about meditation. I'm constantly saying, pray for gratefulness, your gratitude for the day, pray for other people, but your prayer should be one just of gratitude. And then meditation is really your GPS. So you get guidance, you know which way to go as you're on your journey. Well, in meditation, I was told that as I started this transformation, to write everything down in a journal. So I got this, was at a dollar shop. It's not going to cost you much of anything. And from the very first day, I started writing. And I want to share a couple of things with you so that you see how most of all the levels, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, spiritually as well, and etherically, how all those levels are touched. I'm not going to get into many specifics because I don't want to make the video awfully long, but take it from me. Write every time something happens, whether it's craving or you get upset or whatever it is, because you're going to be detoxing on all those levels, and your soul will continue to expand. And as it expands, you're going to release more things that come up that you may have even forgotten that are inside you. Well, with that said, I'm going to share a few that I marked. All right. My very first day, and again, I can't share everything, so just little bits and pieces. I was feeling really heavy duty cravings. I really kind of just almost wanted to throw in the towel. But the Rejuvelac has cut, like I will say, in the first day, it cut like 90% of my cravings. And if you, Kathy, if you can move it that way, if you could see, I want to share something with you guys. Show them the Rejuvelac that I have going on right now. And I have mentioned, make sure you put I love you, and I'm going to teach you how to do the Rejuvelac. But you could only find these, if you could look back here, take up to the back. Okay. You could only find half a gallon with the screens. So what I did, because I want to make sure that I'm not running after it, I bought a screen. These are snips. I got it for $8. I cut the screen, and this was the top, the plastic top that came with the gallon through Amazon. I cut it and put it there. So now I don't have to keep on running after my Rejuvelac. I could have a gallon of it at a time. I'm going to go ahead and buy a second one so that I could have plenty of that water that cuts your cravings. The other thing that cuts your cravings as well, and we'll get back to the journal, is sesame seeds, which I have soaking right now. You're gonna soak for about 8 hours. This has more calcium than you could possibly even want for your body. And it has all the zinc and bees in it. So making this, all you need to do is soak it for 8 hours. This is 1 cup of sesame seeds. And then afterwards add 3 cups of water. You could add a date if you like. Personally, since I'm a sugar addict, I'm not putting anything sweet in my things for right now until I can see that I'm really stabilized. Dates are fine, maple syrup is fine, but for right now I'm not doing that. Then all you do is blend it, and you use a cheesecloth. in one of these bags. After you blend it in the Vitamix, you put it through here, squeeze it, and you got your milk, and put it in the refrigerator. It lasts for 3 days. Okay, moving back to my little journal. Sorry. All right, so that was my first day. I was really craving a lot, and it actually helped me to stop the hunger. And not only the hunger, I was less sleepy, because I had gotten to the point where I was starting to sleep, like feeling like I would have to push myself. And that's only the first day. Moving on, I came home and lots to do. I had a lot to do when I came home, and I had some anxiety and drank my energy soup. It just kind of went out the door. And then the feeling came up. Here's the feeling. I was missing sitting down and resting and eating and looking at some of my videos on raw foods. And I felt hungry, being pushed against time, because I only had a limited time to do what I needed to go and back out the door. So I drank more energy soup. And usually if you wait more than about 15 minutes and not give in to that craving, it goes away. Needless to say, it did go away. Then on, kept on moving forward. I was approaching Publix, and immediately the feeling came up, mac and cheese. I associate Publix with mac and cheese because that's one of my favorite foods. Probably will always be one of my favorite foods. It's not like I haven't eaten meat over 30 years. It's not to say that I don't like any of it. I choose not to do it. There's a direct force that it's just there. I can't do it, especially since I do mediations. But anyway, so I was craving the mac and cheese, but I was determined. And I also, as I approached and went in, I was craving the smoothie place. And unfortunately, in that smoothie place, one time I asked them, do you really put any sugars in the strawberries? And they told me they soak them with sugar and syrup. So I was still craving that. And I went in and just did what I needed to do, came back out, I just told myself, you could do this. I've been saying, yes, I can. And I'm sure those 15 minutes went by and the craving went away. At shopping at Costco's, the second thing that I like, I'm confessing everything that I like is pizza. And at Costco, I was craving the pizza, and I just went right by it, and I just told myself, yes, I can. And I know quite well that if I have that one first bite, then it's over. I'll be throwing in the towel like I've done so many times that I've fallen off the wagon. Then on I don't know, I'm not gonna say the dates because I'm moving through it. On whichever day it is, maybe the 3rd, I realized a feeling came in that I'm missing chewing. I used to buy like bubble gum. I like to chew. And I stayed with that feeling for quite a while, and I realized that as a child, I stayed on the bottle too long until the point that I gagged, and I didn't really like milk. And I really gagged from that, but I got used to chewing. So that memory came back in that I completely forgotten, realized where the chewing is coming from, and then seeing it, when you see an imprint from childhood and you can understand it, it releases itself. So the craving just went right out the door. Oh, and then I had spoken to one of my friends that was very anxious, and I ended up picking up some of her vibrations, and now I'm craving candy. So do you see the scenario, especially as an empath, as we pick things up? And I stayed with that feeling, and I realized, wait a minute, I'm feeling anxious, but I wasn't before. And I realized that I had picked it up, and I was gonna go smother or suppress that emotion by eating candy. That is not the answer. And I told myself, sugar just leads you straight to death. And then I want to make a note. I went on here and I said, I have to be victorious this time. I have to. I'm total willing with myself to get through this. And yes, I can. All right. Moving on. Let me see. I want to see. This one was a good memory, and I think I'm going to stop here. There's so many that came through. I was going into Whole Foods, and as I was approaching Whole Foods, I smelled the smell from all the cooked foods. As you do this, all your five senses, you'll see your hearing get better, your eyesight. By the way, my eyesight, where I got operated, that nothing under this world from November to now was helping. None of the steroids, which I am so sorry I had to put those drops in my eyes, nothing was helping me with the glare and the tearing. I was having trouble reading. I was driving with one eye like this. 3 weeks, no, it was the second week into this, my eye healed. All that is gone. So everything in your body starts healing, all your five senses, things taste better. The other day, I had a tomato, and it tasted sweet. My lemon water is starting to taste sweet. So everything starts to just work as it should be. Anyway, so I smell the cooked foods, and I smelled it, and I stayed with it. I'm like, oh my God, that smells so good. And I started to have a little bit of craving, but then I stayed with that element of the smell. And what came from childhood, when I was a little girl, like in around 2nd or 3rd grade, and I would walk into the cafeteria, the smell of cooked foods actually made me want to throw up. And as an empath, and having the ability, and other people have all the abilities of all the gifts. Empaths are just more sensitive. I guess I wasn't really supposed to be eating these foods to begin with. And my body, back then as a little girl, was saying, no, don't do this. And it brought me that memory, and immediately I was able to release that, and I was able to walk around Whole Foods, even with their food area, food court, and not sit there and actually crave all the cooked foods. Let me see if there's another big one here. And I'm not going to read all of them because there's too many of them. Let's see. I've been doing a little bit of dry fast. That means like after 5 or 6 o'clock, I don't eat anything till the next day or drink anything. That has been really beneficial. Don't attempt that, not yet. Okay, one thing that I wrote that would be nice to share is I can do this, especially in this existence of peace and clarity, because your focus gets better. And I'm going to leave it with that, on that note, so that I could give you my statistics. Just know that I feel like day and night, completely day and night. And the reason I'm wearing the same clothes is so that you guys see my transformation, and you can see as and it's not about weight, but I will lose weight, and the beautiful me that is inside will be showing itself to you, the real you. Okay, so my blood pressure the last time was 138/89. It has dropped to 114/73. That was one of my celebrations, because blood pressure, to have it higher and keep on going up, you end up on medication, and I certainly didn't want to go that route. Sugar, I was at 126 after eating, which was right there. I was in the average. And since I took this earlier today, I was not eating. It was at 89. Fasting, the normal is 80 to 100. So I'm good in the sugar area. My oxygen stayed constant at 97. But my pulse, there was a big difference. 96 last time, 84. That means that my heart is not working as hard, and it's good. You should be breathing slowly during the day, not really, really fast, and helping your heart to be at peace. And it actually went down to 84, so I'm really happy with that. Now, moving on to the fat content, which again, this is about health. All of you may not be so thrilled about this, but when you first do this, what's going to come off is mostly water, because your body's inflamed and it's letting go of a lot of things. So you're going to lose a lot of water and maybe a little bit of fat, but in the beginning it's going to be mostly water before you actually start burning the fat. And because of my schedule, and I also had an implant, I haven't had a chance to really go full force and go into my exercise program, which I will be doing. Hopefully at the end of next week, I will be able to do that. So I'm not exercising. So you have to exercise, at least a half an hour a day of aerobic, half an hour of weights training or some kind of strength training. And also I would suggest yoga. You need to stretch and get flexible as well. So the light and all your body works better. The ligaments, the cartilages, everything will just radiate really well and work well with you. Okay, my BMI, it went from 26.7, okay, which that is considered overweight. I will repeat again, 18 to 15 to 18.5 to 24.9 is healthy. 25 to 29 is overweight, and 30 is obese. I was 26.7, which is overweight. I went down to 25.1. I'm still in the overweight category, as you see me. My weight went from 163.5 that I did not put in last week, 3 weeks ago. It went down to 153.5. But as you could see, I lost 10 pounds on the scale. But if you look at the fat content from 39.8 to 39.4, most of that was really water, okay? Even though this got a little bit, I lost some inches, but some of that is water weight, inflammation. Okay, my waist went from 38 inches to 36 and a half. Hips from 45 to 44, so I'm losing some inches. My thighs, the left was 21 and a half, so my left went down to 21. My right was 22 and a half, and that one went down to 21. So that one actually had a bigger increase. Maybe I walked harder on this leg, maybe, I don't know. My breast went down from 38 and a half to 37. So with that said, I want to say, take the jump into health. Remember that you're an expression of God. An expression, and you look at everything on the sea, how beautiful it is. You look at the trees, you look at nature, you look at the animals, you see all the beauty around you. And yet, you're not seeing beautiful human beings. Very little. Maybe if they do facelifts and cosmetics and all this other stuff. Be healthy. Eat the things that are from Mother Nature and get yourself to reflect Mother Nature and reflect your inner truth, your beauty that is inside you, the soul light that is inside you. And with that, I send you all the love, and as I always close, is we share that love and light, and hug yourself. Thank you. Peace.